Hello, and welcome to No Format, the internet's only independent music talk show. I'm your host, Aaron, and today we're talking to Boston's incomparable Bedtime Magic about the struggles and triumphs of pet ownership in the 21st century. Today's episode has been brought to you by the fact that we are all just killing time, waiting for the inevitable end. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy responsibly. So here we are today with Bedtime Magic. Would you fellows like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. You go first. You're prettier than I am.
All right. I'm the pretty one. I'm Morgan. I play drums, I play organ, and I do what some people refer to as singing.
My name's Nicholas. I play bass. I run around the stage and get sweaty and then complain about cramps and all sorts of things the next day.
So how did you two meet and start Bedtime Magic originally?
Well, so Nicholas put an ad in Craigslist, and
do you remember what the ad said?
I don't exactly. It's sort of like I've been playing in bands since I was like 13 years old or so, and I had quit a band a little while back, and I had stopped playing for like 6 months, and it was like at this point sort of driving me a little crazy not playing. So I started like poking around a little bit. I don't remember. I remember he basically said like he wanted to do a 2-piece, wanted it to be like pretty noisy, and then listed off a bunch of bands, some of which I know and like, some of which I know and don't like, and some of which I didn't know. So I sent him a message, and it turns out like we actually sort of knew each other from before. So Nicholas used to work at a coffee shop that I used to go into all the time when I was at work, and so it was like, oh, hey, you're you. And I was like, yeah, you're you. All right, awesome. Like,
hey, we know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had, I think he used the drum kit that was there, right? Or did you bring your own drum kit?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember, because he has, I don't know if you've ever seen his drum kit, but it's like pretty big. It's a marching band kick. It's originally a marching band like bass drum that he converted into a kick drum, and like a bunch of other stuff. But for me, the thing that really, I was like, okay, this guy and I should definitely be in a band together. Is I wrote this song, and it was like standard 4/4 stuff, like kick snare, and that was the last thing on earth that he was playing when I was bringing it to him. I was like, it goes like this, and he was like, ba do do ba do do do. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what planet he's on, but I'll try to follow him there,
Well, you did actually try and correct me a couple of times. You're like, no, like he basically was like, do the standard punk rock beat.
Yeah, you're like,
and I was like, no.
And at the time, I was like, oh my, he's a serial killer. But now I know he's not. It's just he's very direct about things. So.
Well, it sounds like that antagonism has really led to a good dynamic for the band.
I think so, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think it's important to have somebody that challenges you. I think that when you are in a band and everybody is just constantly thinking and doing the same thing, you end up with some pretty, sugar-coated shit.
Right, and it's well established that I'm the cute one. So
Yeah.
So does that mean that we're going to get a Hunks of Bedtime Magic calendar?
If you want it, we got one with your name on it.
All right.
We will sign it for you and everything.
I'm going to send you a picture of the zebra print rug that we have.
Right. It'll say something like "Sweet Dreams, Love, Bedtime Magic" or something, and have us in our undies.
I'll see if I can commission someone to like get that portrait done up. And use it as your new profile picture for the band. So you guys have been doing this for a little while now. couple.
Yeah, 2014 or 13. I think.
Yeah, it's like 6 or 7 years now.
8 years. Time's moving forward.
Is it 8 years?
Yeah, dude, it's 2021. It's like halfway through the year.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow. 7 years. 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years.
Yeah.
So have you found that the local scene's been pretty responsive to what you're doing, or are you just on the outs doing your own thing?
Yes and no. I mean, people are definitely. People definitely like us. Like, are we selling out? Like any club in town at all of any size? No. But there's definitely folks who like come out to see us and dig what we do. For like lack of a better way of saying it, we in some respects are sort of like a band's band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's
our music is fairly adversarial, and a lot of the inside jokes that we have musically, like when we write, sometimes the composition will have something in it that I think only other band people can recognize as being like of comedic value, or being, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, we'll take a part and we'll purposely flip it around so that way it's not doing what is expected of us.
Yeah, and I imagine Boston, I know some other cities are sort of similar, that a lot of the folks who are coming out to see live music are folks who they themselves play live music. You know what I mean? Like they're, that's the main audience, is like folks who are in other bands go to see people who play in bands,
So are you noticing that there's like one type of, I guess, scenester coming to see you guys or whatnot, or is it just you got a wide variety? Because the only reason why I bring this up is I've talked to some other people, and they don't necessarily fit easily into one category, and they get a wide variety of people coming to see them like every time they play.
Yeah. I mean, so, like, I might be the cute one, but, like, I will also say that, like, neither of us is, like, particularly cool. So, like, we are not, like, the cool kid band, but, like, yeah. I think all different kinds of folks like us. Like, definitely, we've played with, like, some metal bands that, like, we're totally digging what we're doing. We play with a bunch of noise rock bands that we're, like, totally digging what we're doing.
I think we get a lot of people, like, what do they call that when traffic slows down, not because it has to, but because everybody's staring at a car crash?
Oh, they're all rubbernecking.
Yeah, I think there's an aspect of that coming to see us, because we wear, like, pug suits, like these wrestling singlets with a picture of Frank the Pug on them. And, like, I run around a lot, and over the years, like, my metabolism has not been good to me. So you see this, like, heavy guy in this flesh-colored suit running around, throwing the bass, this $2,000 bass across the room, and this other guy with a drum kit that's, like, absolutely Goliath. And I think there's a spectacle aspect to it.
Right. So more of laughing at us, not with us.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate to hear, but you know what? I think it's working out for you. You guys are definitely making a stamp in the noise rock scene, I think, anyway. I don't see. I guess there's some like bass and drum bands out there. Can I say drum and bass? Yeah. So like some.
Whatever.
I get tripped up on that too, because it's like drum and bass is a style.
Yeah.
Whatever. Do that too, I guess.
But yeah, it's like you guys have kind of your own niche in a way.
Yeah.
Big part of that. So Morgan was in this band called Coleman. That was a 3-piece band. It was guitar, drums, and vocals, no bass. And I think he got really used to filling spots where the bass would normally go, or where there'd be like a bass break. And I was in a band that had the same arrangement, but I was the guitar player. And a lot of what I started to do in that band, if you listen to the early demo, we were called the Taste of Silver. If you listen to the early demo, there's definitely like something missing. But over time, I started to borrow from things like flat picking blues, where they'll play like a rhythm line with their two their pointer finger and their middle finger, and then play a lead line with their ring finger and their pinky finger. And I adapted that for this band, where there's like chord shapes that I move around and stuff on the bass. So I think that's one thing that sets us apart, is that I'm playing like two parts to help kind of create this asymmetry and get things moving in a different direction.
I think also both of us, we don't want to keep on making music that we've already heard. right? Like,
Yeah.
like we don't need to write the same song twice. Like, and like I love shellac, but we don't need to make a shellac record because they make shellac records.
But like, I didn't read your 21 Pilots review because I feel like I don't need to. I know what it's gonna say. You know?
Oh, that thing. That was basically just me talking about dogs playing poker for 3 minutes, and then I threw on a 3 out of 10 at the end.
Bingo, 3 out of 10. That's complimentary.
Like dogs really playing poker, or like the pictures of dogs playing poker?
Oh, the paintings, dogs playing poker. I had this.
Oh, okay.
Aaron knows a lot about it. He's been doing research and posting stuff.
I have been doing research on dogs playing poker, and I found out that it's not just one painting. There's like there's 12 of them. Yeah, there's a whole
I thought there was
series.
16. Wasn't it 16 plus the original?
Something like that.
That's an enormous amount of dogs playing poker paintings.
I know,
Do you
but
think are they always playing poker? Do you think they mix up the games, or do they play like various, like are they playing like Texas Hold'em and then like Omaha High-Low and like
just throwing some craps in the alley.
Right. Like are all the dogs degenerate gamblers?
Alley craps.
Oh, absolutely.
A painting of cats playing craps in an alley. Alley craps.
But though I did find out one interesting thing about dogs playing poker is that the guy who created the paintings, he made this one painting called like Standing on the Goat, where there's a dog standing on a goat, and it's kind of like a reference to like Freemasonism.
Oh, Shanaola.
So let me tell you, dogs playing poker goes all the way up to the top.
It's Illuminati.
Yeah.
But yeah, they reference it at meetings for new. Yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you guys, look up the history of dogs playing poker. I think it's called Riding the Goat.
All right.
Okay.
I will take a look.
Note to self, that song title is taken, right?
Illuminati confirmed. But yeah, have you guys got any sort of like weird obsessions other than your pug? Which actually, you know what? Let's talk about the pug. What's up with the pug?
Well, do you like dogs?
Yeah, I like dogs.
Well, so do we.
We like dogs.
But
Every band's got a theme,
yeah.
right? And it's
Right.
sex and food and everything else has been done before.
Right, and I sort of figured like in terms of like merchandising, right? Like, well, maybe people don't like loud rock and roll, but they like cute dogs, right? So we could sell T-shirts two ways, right? They either like our music or they like to wear T-shirts with cute dogs on them.
You'll never guess which sells more.
Oh, it's absolutely the dog shirts.
It's the dogs.
Yeah. That's it.
I gotta say, how does that make you feel? People walking around not knowing who you are, but they're wearing a dog shirt.
I'm okay.
I think
with
it's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, there's a DJ down here that was on the radio for years, and she was like, "I got your shirt because I have a couple dogs that look like the guys on your shirts." And I was like, "I'm okay with that."
Yeah, we're totally cool with that.
So you're not like upset like some people would be. Metalheads in particular, they're very sensitive about people who are not metalheads wearing Metallica shirts or Slayer shirts or whatnot.
Right. Yeah, no, like, any young teen pop stars that want to wear our T-shirt on the internet, like, we're totally fine with that. We don't really don't care.
We have low aspiration. I mean, look, there's no money in noise rock, right? Like, there's no money in what we're doing. We're not going to be famous or anything, but what we are doing is something that's very cathartic for us. And it's also, like, both of us just got really burnt trying to play music for other people. I mean, it's been years. Like, I'm 40 or 42?
Oh, my God.
43. I know, right?
Right.
Yeah, we've timed out of hardcore.
Creepy old dudes right here.
No, I thought you guys were in your 20s.
Oh, and
No.
No, we're just very tattooed or something. I don't know. It covers up all the moles. But
We're just very immature.
yeah, we're just very... So for us, I mean, honestly, we talk about it. Like, we've seen stuff, we've done stuff, we tried to play the game, and now we're just doing this because it's something that we've come to know as part of ourselves and our identities. So.
Right.
So no
douchebags with guitars and drums and shit,
So no aspirations to open for 9 Inch Nails.
I mean, if we wouldn't say no.
Trent, hook them up.
Trent Reznor, if you're listening, if you're in Ohio right now listening.
But yeah, I mean, if we could ever make back any of the money that we've lost, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's always been our goal. Like we say it all the time. We're like,
can we break even?
Pays for itself.
Right. If this just breaks us even, that would be awesome. But whatever.
Well, I can't speak for the future of the band, but I think the music that Nicholas just shared with me is pretty high quality. I think that when that album drops, it's going to be pretty significant in some ways, from what I've heard.
Awesome. Thank you. I hope so. I mean, obviously we make this stuff because it's what we want to do, but I definitely hope other people dig it.
It feels good when people are at the shows and when people are like, "Hey, good record, man."
Right.
Thanks. Can I use your drum kit? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Good set, man. Good set. Thanks, man.
But I think it's really very different sounding for you guys. If I can be a little bold and talk about what I've heard, it's a lot more metal. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
I think that was Morgan. What would you say? I mean, obviously it's a different writing style than we're used to.
Well, so I think there was like one song or maybe two that we recorded that was written before pandemic, but I think basically everything else has been written since the pandemic started. So I don't think any of these, or only one song that was an older song has been played in front of people. So, it probably is like a little bit more metal because had we actually had to play any of these songs live, we would have been like, oh, dude, we can't pull that off. We're going to have to change it. We're going to have to change it.
Well, I think also writing for the Greylock split, we were trying to, so the Greylock split we were trying to do for like 2 years. I mean, we recorded that stuff pre-pandemic, right?
Yeah.
And then we went back and did some more songs because they did like a couple songs and it ended up being like 18 minutes and we did like 4 songs or something and it ended up being
was like
5
4 minutes.
Yeah, and we were like, all right, that's not going to work.
Right.
So we went back and did more, but we wrote that stuff to be very reflective of their writing style and who they were as a band, and almost, as a side note, like a little, a superscript 1, and then we do this, and then we go back to the usual thing. And then the pandemic hit, and I know for me personally, there was a lot of there was a lot of stuff in my own private life and like my own physicality. Like I got diagnosed with Crohn's, and I was going through some stuff with my wife, and I was like, I can either keep trying to write songs about Tucked In about jerking off too hard, or I could try to get this stuff like a little bit of me into these and kind of get it out there and then go back to writing about jerking off when we're done with all this.
So is this the new direction for the band from now on, or are we gonna be hearing?
That's a good question, actually, and I feel like you're the premier in asking that. Like I feel like we're gonna get that question a lot once it comes out.
I don't know. I don't think we do a lot of. I certainly don't do a whole lot of planning in terms of like what are we going to write next? What is the the direction? A lot of times Nicholas comes in with like a riff or an idea or or vice versa, and the other one of us does exactly the opposite of what. What we had
just
originally
to piss
been
off
thinking.
the other one.
Right, and not to be a jerk, it's just we just hear it differently.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if what I guess we'll find out what our new sound is going to be like when we get there.
I think this is one of the few times that an interviewer's asked a question that was extremely on the nose and kind of took me up, because you're right. And like I said, once other people hear it, they're going to ask us that too. I don't think, I've always said our sound, if I had to pick 3 songs, was Dirty Sheets, King Size, and fucking, I don't know, Tucked In. I always thought lyrically was us. It's a bunch of really bad jokes that sound like it's super serious. Tucked In, Guest Cot. Go back and listen to the lyrics of Guest Cot and see if you can figure out what it's about. It's not about what you think it's about.
Oh man, I'm definitely not a lyrics person, even though I like good lyrics, but for the most part, I kind of just tune them out because I've heard so many awful bands. I mean, I can't
ruin a song.
Yeah. I've just gotten used to just tuning them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it takes effort for me to actually be like, oh, this song's about something.
Bruno Mars said, "I'm hot damn, make a dragon want to retire, man." What the fuck is that?
I know, it's just so like insipid. It's like you can't take that seriously.
Wow. Yeah.
Or I was talking with Lyrics Linkin Park and 21 Pilots about how it could be any popular band, about how they all have like very shallow meanings and there's not too much to dig for because it's purposely written that way. So that's why.
Yeah, they want it to be played at both a wedding and a graduation and in your car. And, I mean, all things to all people. But when you do that, you're nothing to nobody in particular, you know?
So that's what we can expect more on the new album then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing to nobody.
we'll continue to be nothing to nobody. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, is there anything that you've been wanting to do that you haven't really been able to approach doing because of maybe even just because of the kind of band that you have been in the past?
Pay my bills on time.
I wish I could. So I actually started taking drum lessons in pandemic.
Oh,
which
yeah.
which I'd never really done before. So like I figured, I'm in my 40s now. I've been playing for 30 years, and more than that, over 30 years. And my physical limitations is like finally as the guy I'm taking lessons from was like, yeah, youthful exuberance only goes so far. So like there was definitely, I'll listen to like records I did in my 20s. I'm like, how the fuck did I play that, man?
You were playing from like your biceps and your triceps and stuff,
right?
Like never from your fingers or your wrists.
Never from my fingers or my wrists. Like I basically was all elbows and shoulders. Yeah, I definitely like listened to some old stuff and was like, how the fuck did I do that? Like I can't go anywhere near like that fast anymore, So I guess if there's anything that like I think about like, oh, what do I really want to do in the future? Like I'm sort of hoping like actually learning how to play my instrument the right way, like will open up some doors in terms of like what I can like, shit. Like, it'd be cool if I could do a blast beat. I can't do a blast beat, but like...
Do a blast? There's one on the record.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're not really that kind of band, but like...
No, yeah.
Like, fuck it.
My goal is to get more and more... The more people embrace what we're doing, the more it makes me want to do something that they can't embrace. Like, I really want to be the grumpy old man. I want to be the guy that's in his 60s and his music is unpalatable. Like, Danny Elfman put out that stuff, and it's really good. And I actually have a lot of respect for what he did because he tried to do something you don't expect from a guy his age. And then you look at Leonard Cohen, and Leonard Cohen's stuff, actually his stuff was always good. So I don't know. But I definitely want my music over time to just degenerate as I degenerate.
Yeah, I mean, Danny Elfman was
what you have to do is follow the Bob Dylan mold and just start releasing garbage that nobody cares about.
No, that's different. His shit sucks, dude. And it's weird because it's like he was so talented in his youth, and then over time he's still trying to write those fucking songs, and they sound awful. But I want to be like that middle era Bob Dylan where he went and got country singing lessons. You remember that? And he did Lay Lady Lay, and it doesn't make any sense why he did that. He changed his singing style.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants, man.
Bob Dylan,
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you just gotta either get to that point or just not even give a shit to begin with.
Yeah, seriously. Remember Metal Machine Music?
Oh yeah.
Record, yeah, that I always tell people, like, that's the end game, is just to make records that when people buy them, they're like, what the fuck? Or Prick by Melvins, remember that record? It's just the audience recordings. Like, just fucking, here you go. Buy this record.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you guys from doing anything like that right now. Just, I'll consult.
Financial constraints is really what's stopping us.
Honestly, we joke like about the financial aspect of it, but that's basically limited. Like, we've had ideas like that where we're like, let's just put out a record that is just like one note, but then then we'd be out $3,000 and it would be sitting in our basement. So I guess we can't do that. But woe be into whoever gives us money to do what we see fit, because shit's gonna get real fast.
So speaking of money, have you had any interest for the new record? Have you been passing it around to anybody so far?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
a lot of stuff came up this morning. Actually, stuff that I'll talk to you about when we're not on this, because I'm not at liberty to talk about publicly yet.
Right,
but,
it's very, very secret.
yeah,
Nah.
super secret. But I think somebody finally bit down and it started talking about exactly what we want for the layout of the record to be. So
Yeah, we've been pleasantly surprised. Like definitely a bunch. We've had a bunch of folks who were like, dude, we're totally into this. I'll have money to do it in 2 years. Or like,
Oh.
I'm totally into this. I'm totally into this. You should find somebody who has more money to do it. You know, like. But we actually have talked to a couple people who are like, I'm totally into this. What do you guys think? Like, yeah, let's talk about it. So.
yeah, and a few people that were like, they were straight up with me. They said, listen, I love it. Doesn't fit on my label, but I'm gonna follow you on all your social medias and stuff. And I thought that was very nice.
Yeah, that's great. I think like I said earlier, I think the new stuff sounds like really good. I think it's going to be the sound of the summer.
Bedtime Magic Summer.
Yeah, and we're like tentatively planning. We might actually be able to like play some of these things in front of people this summer.
Yeah, everything's changing, man.
Yeah.
Are you finding any of it like too difficult to play in a live situation?
Strangely, no.
No.
Yeah, we've always tried to. When we did Pillow Talk, and this is a conversation that was hard to have when Pillow Talk was our only thing that we really had to show people, aside from some splits, is that when we did Pillow Talk, like Morgan's theory was this record should be our live set, but just recorded. So we didn't do a lot of overdubs. If we had like a take on vocals that was even close to where we were going with it, we saved it. And I think with this record, we were more open to those things as long as it wasn't shit that we couldn't do live. That's always the rule. Is like if you can't do it live, it's fucking lame. Don't bother doing it unless it's so over the goddamn top that no one would ever believe you'd do it live anyway. Like the bells, the tube bells or whatever that we put on
Right.
there.
Yeah, tubular bells.
Yeah, like we're not going to carry tubular bells. Well, we might one day, but we're not, in general going to carry these giant pipes that you hit with a fucking hammer. So that was okay to do in the studio, but if I had a part I couldn't play, that's silly.
So there's no like potential for bringing in like backing tracks or pre-recorded stuff to go along with the set or anything like that?
We have a hard enough time playing in time with each other. Having to like play in time to like another thing that can't like give each other a nasty look when they're playing out of time. Like that ain't gonna work, man.
Dude, I always thought it would be sick if we showed up with like a turntablist. Remember the Tougher Than Leather phase of Run DMC with the leather hat, the leather jacket, the leather pants? Yeah, you just like doing our parts.
Wait, are you saying we're gonna go from wearing the pug suits to wearing like full leather outfits? Because
Yeah, but no.
we already
instruments.
sweat way too much. Man.
the vinyl, the guy with like one earphone on.
Right, yeah, and knowing how cheap you are, like there's no way it'll actually be real leather. You'll get like some weird leather shit.
Duct tape over the hole.
We'll make it through like one song, and both of us will pass out of dehydration.
Adequate pleather will be the tour.
Oh, all you guys gotta do is play no pants. That's it.
No
Problem
pants.
solved. No pants, no shirt, leather jacket, leather codpiece.
Yes.
Problem solved.
What do they call that? There's a name for not wearing pants.
Porky Pig in it.
Porky Pig in it.
Yeah.
Donald Duck in it.
Right. Shirt, no pants.
Listen, if it's good enough for Rob Halford, it's good enough for you guys.
He didn't wear pants?
I think.
Well,
I
he
think
did
I
more
said-
like chaps, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of those guys did. Lemmy, he had those extremely short shorts. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
No,
I mean, when you got the goods, man, you might as well flaunt it, right?
Yeah.
And like, yeah. I mean, it's fucking Lemmy. He can do whatever the hell he wants,
Dude, his approach to everything is just unbelievable. Like, I'm not a Lemmy worshiper or anything. I get that question a lot when we play because I play a Rickenbacker. Oh, you like Lemmy? But, like, his thoughts about things, like, he's such a degenerate. And he's not like a G.G. Allen degenerate. He's just, like, comfortable in his own skin. And he said something once. He said when people go to see a concert, they don't want to see a person in just a T-shirt and jeans like a normal person they'd see on the street. They want to see. Oh, what did he say? It was like an alien or something. You got to give them a show, which is why he wore like fucking top hats sometimes, and
Right.
skulls and all this shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Have you guys seen the documentary about Lemmy?
I've seen some, but I haven't seen like a definitive one. I've seen 20, 30-minute ones. Spotify did one at one point.
Oh, there's a whole film about Lemmy called Lemmy the Documentary.
I gotta see this.
You gotta see it. There's a part in it. I mean, they talk about Lemmy's life and like what he does, and basically, he's either writing music, drinking at the Rainbow, and then
playing the fruit machines or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Video poker, yeah.
Or talking about his. He was a big fan of, like, I think it was World War II paraphernalia, like German military paraphernalia. And he just
things get a little dicey around that, especially the Joy Division thing, where the obsession with the wrong side of World War II.
Yeah.
We could go back in time and we're like, New Order, Warsaw, but I guess that was a thing in England.
Oh, everybody was, dressing up in swastikas back in the 70s. It was just what they did back then. I think it was like just to push people's buttons, since so many of their parents had been in the war. They're just they're like, fuck you, Mom, I'm going to wear a swastika.
Yeah.
It
was like the right mindset, but the absolute wrong approach.
Oh, totally.
Like, fuck you, Mom and Dad. I get that. Thumbs up, I'm going to do it by celebrating the Holocaust. No. 9.
It's fortunate that we have the benefit of hindsight now.
Let me ask you a question. Can I turn the tables for a second?
Sure.
So we're all kind of like in the same boat in the sense that you have a kid too, right? And you're in your 40s as well, I believe, or
39.
39. Okay. So where was I going with this?
Next year you can start reading Proust.
Oh, hell no. I haven't read a book in like 12 years.
Oh, jeez.
Do you find that there's some conflict inside of you where part of you is saying, let me pass the torch for doing things that are, I don't want to say the word youthful because that's wrong, but like things that are incendiary or things that are provocative to the next generation and just be mild-mannered until I fucking die? Like, does that ever grab you where you're like, man, because people say that stuff. They're like, oh, you're 40 playing rock and roll? But it's like, why wouldn't I be playing rock and roll in my 40s? I don't get it.
Yeah. In some ways, yeah. But in other ways, I'm sitting here talking with some other guys in their 40s about their noise rock projects. So I'm also like really immature as well in some ways.
I don't even know if it's immature. I think that there's some maturity in destabilizing. Like, I don't understand this idea that as you get older, you have to be more of a background character,
I think it comes down to home ownership, pretty much. And you gotta go and you gotta look at your neighbors in the morning and be like, oh, I gotta live next door to that.
But that's what I do when I see people who are like fucking part of like a homeowners organization and shit, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
People that are just like really cut and dry and they're like, you know what I do on the weekends? I take the boat out, catch a couple trout, go back home, and I'm like, what is this fucking life that you're living?
Little Bed Bath and Beyond, little Home Depot. It's a nice little Saturday.
Oh, well, number one,
Smoochy.
let me tell you, I do like to go to Bed Bath and Beyond every now and again.
Well, we all do, Aaron, but it's like, it can't be the definitive part of who you are.
Did you actually have a question, though, Nicholas, or did you just kind of
it was just you and I talk about the fact that this has become who we are as people, and that we tried, not doing music for a while, and it was agony and whatnot. And I just was just curious. He's in sort of the same. I tried to have a conversation with Jesse, but I don't see Jesse very often.
I think we all of us are in kind of a weird like nexus in society in some way, where it's like we don't have what our parents had, and we've built these certain things that maybe our kids won't have. So I don't know. I think there's something to be said for clinging to your youthful passions and what drives you. There's nothing wrong with that.
Though. Yeah, because we couldn't have the home and we couldn't have the business and stuff. We couldn't have access to those things. So building, this music style and building these ways of life have really become part of our legacy.
Yeah. I see a lot of people, in some ways, they are, I don't know, I don't want to say more content with, having that particular life, but that's kind of like what they've built up as being a life is, where it's like, I don't know. I think as times change, more people's views on what people in their 40s should be doing it's going to change, just like it did for our parents and their parents and their parents.
Yes, I agree, and I just like, I don't know. I think, Nicholas, you sort of are romanticizing your youthful struggles in some respects.
I could be.
Like now that the problems you had in your 20s aren't like your current set of problems, like those seem like
minor problem.
No, more of like, oh, those were cool and sort of noble problems to have, but really it was just like, it's all the same fucking problems, man. It's all
You're right. Yeah, they've just changed and they become different problems.
Right. I think if anything, we're both like, I think all of us better equipped to deal with the problems. That like, I still have a lot of the same. No, I don't have a lot of the same problems that I had in my 20s. Like, and I'm certainly like way better equipped to deal with them now.
See, he always has these nuggets that come out, and like he said to me the other day, it was my birthday, and I was like, "Man, I'm turning 40," and he goes, "Well, look at it like this: you're either getting older or you're not." And I was like, "Oh shit, dude, that's deep."
Right.
Yeah. Like it kind of stopped me in my tracks. I was like, I guess it's good to get older.
Right.
Yeah. I find that as I've gotten older, my attitudes on certain things have changed. Others have maybe not so much, but I'm definitely personally more equipped to deal with some of the things that would have just like laid me out in my 20s.
You're absolutely right. Oh yeah, heartbreak, man. When you're a kid and somebody fucking breaks your heart, you beat up over it. I'm going through like a second divorce, and I'm like, shit happens, I mean, what else can you fucking do, right?
Just don't take the amps.
Yeah, that's what I said. I fucking said that in front of in the what do they call that shit that we do, mediation?
Mediator.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, I get the guitar.
What about you, Morgan? When's your next divorce?
I have not had one. I am happily married, and I perhaps in my next lifetime, but yeah, that definitely not going that route. Definitely not.
Nah, he's a good dude. He's not. I run my fucking mouth all the time. He doesn't. So.
Oh yeah, you talk so much shit.
Dude, what is my deal? You never learn.
That's why we get along. That's why we vibe. We have that troll mindset, man.
Yeah, exactly. Just fuck everything up.
I think that's one of the things that I like about your music, that it's just kind of like, I think I hear it and I'm like, oh, somebody's really gonna hate this.
Oh yeah, like Dirty Sheets. The first time we recorded it, I did because live I'd always do like a Ric Flair, woo, and then Morgan was like, keep it, and then we did Pillow Talk. He's like, I'm gonna do it too.
Right.
Hello?
Hey.
Hello.
Oh, hey. Sorry, I thought Morgan was saying something there.
I thought he was too, but then I looked at him and he was just shrugging. So.
I tend to not say all that much.
Oh, just say it. Just say it. Come on. Let's hear it. Let's hear more about the woo.
Fucking bring it.
Well, I mean, shit. More songs need a Ric Flair part to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think more.
Like, I'm not gonna say that like more songs need wrestling references, because like I think that's been done.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you can channel a little Ric Flair, like why the fuck would you not channel a little bit of Ric Flair?
Nature Boy, is that his thing?
Yeah.
Nature Boy. Go ahead.
Oh, I was actually gonna interject and say that. So bearing that in mind, do you think there's enough like fun in noise rock as it stands?
No, I think people are way too serious.
No. Although, like, I will say it's really, like, I've been thinking about this a bunch. Like, it's like, at least for us, like, it's very easy to do like angry. It's very easy to do like, but I think. I think like being truly funny, like, and being able to communicate that through music is like fucking way harder than
like sardonic and
right.
Fucking, yeah.
So like the folks who can really like pull it off, like good on them. There's a couple bands I can think of that like
would you
pretty
say?
consistently are like,
Name names.
Cop
like,
shoot cop.
you know,
There we go.
right. Yeah, they definitely
No
had some
Means
funny
No.
shit. No Means No, definitely. Like, Jared from Carp
Jared from Subway.
and Big Business, and
Yeah.
like that dude's got a pretty fucking great sense of humor, you know, and like the Intercourse guys, like,
Oh yeah,
like-
okay. Rick, yeah.
right, like
Rick, if Rick isn't in 5 years, if he's not a household name, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Man.
yeah.
That guy has got it. Like he brings it. He's like Jake
Yeah.
Bannon was in like '97. Like he puts it all on the stage.
Right, and like he's funny as shit,
Yeah,
you know,
he's a
like, and
funny
like
dude.
that comes across in the music,
He's
like,
thoughtful. He's written me fucking text just to check on me. What is that? Like just be like, hey dude, how's it going? It's quarantine, huh? And I'm like, yeah. Do you need to borrow money? What's going on? No, just saying hi. Okay.
Aw, he sounds like a real sweetheart.
Oh, Rick, yeah.
yeah,
Rick's
he is.
Yeah. You
Looks
know,
good in shorts too.
there's bands that lost their sense of fucking whimsy though. Like John Spencer, I grew up with John Spencer Blues Explosion. That was his incarnation that I was familiar with. And I thought it was pushing the envelope and pushing the envelope. And his live record, I heard that live record and I was like, I need to make this record someday. And then I saw John Spencer at, what was it, Great Scott?
Yeah.
What's it called now? It's like just John Spencer or something.
Oh, well, he's done a couple different things, but
Yeah, and it was like kind of like tightened up, and like he was less abrasive, and he told this story about how he's at a restaurant, some kid was tapping on the table, and it made it so he couldn't enjoy his meal. What the fuck is that? Like I don't know. It's just like, yeah, right. Like meanwhile, I saw a video of him in like '98 in France with a massive mic cord, and he just went up to the rafters of the television studio. Like that to me was the John Spencer that I wanted to be, not John Spencer talking about like bullshit, you know?
right.
I don't know.
Well, I think when you get to a certain age and you are of a certain level of fame, you're just like, I just want a croissant in peace.
Yeah, like Kanye, hurry up with my croissants.
I've been thinking about that line a lot lately. It's been really resonating with me in some ways.
Did you read I think it was Bon Appetit wrote a piece about it, and they were like, you can't hurry up with croissants. They need time. It was like
No.
a whole thing when that record came out. Yeah, they were like the leavening needs to work. You need to do the folds on it.
I mean, in some ways, yeah, but just have some croissants ready for Kanye West.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Like, what's your business model if you don't have croissants ready by the time guests are there?
I know.
Let's get this together, people.
So speaking of baked goods, I have no idea where I was going with that. Yeah, so new album due out 2022 or beyond.
No, next year. I think
Yeah.
the way things are going,
Yeah.
it's going to be first half of 2022.
And then who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think is 2022 going to be like just like completely inundated with releases? Like,
I hope so.
right.
We're already seeing like a lot of people releasing stuff. I think what's going to be the big thing is more like festivals and shows. Everybody's just going to be getting in their shows like as soon as they can, and I'm already seeing it happen online.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that up here we're still struggling to get some vaccines for everybody. But you know what? There's going to be shows.
Yeah. So you're in Canada?
Yeah.
Where in Canada are you?
I'm in Alberta.
Oh, all right.
And which is
It's 2 hours behind us, right?
yeah. And
We're speaking to you from the future, man.
I know.
And you're going to want to get in your car in 20 minutes to go get a soda. Do not do it.
Oh my God.
It will change your life forever.
You're right. Better go get beer instead. But yeah, I think once the floodgates are open, you're going to see too many shows all at once. Bills that are like that start at 5 in the afternoon have 20-minute sets.
Oh
Yes. I literally just came when you said that. Keep going. Let me have this denouement, please. Just keep going.
Oh, but
I fucking hate when people play forever.
Anything more than 4 bands on a bill is too much. Like I just like I love music. I collect records. I play music all the time. Like it's like the biggest, probably one of the biggest parts of my life. I fucking cannot stand watching more than 4 bands in a row. Like I just can't do it.
I mean, I don't mind it. Hey, if I start in the afternoon and I have nothing else to do that day, I sit there with my beer and I just, watch the bands play to like me and nobody else. That's cool too.
That sounds like the noise rock scene in general.
Yeah. That's every show we've played in the last 7 years.
I think some bands are well, that Daughters record that came out like 2 or 3 years ago, that was a game changer. The Throat record that just came out, finally a band is trying to be Joy Division and actually doing something interesting with it,
Besides Interpol?
Oh, well, Interpol was just like, what? Okay, I'm about to say some stuff I can't put back in the can, but I was going to say, I think Interpol did Joy Division better than Joy Division did Joy Division, but...
That's pretty bold. I will say I do really like that first record, but that's enough of that.
Turn on the Bright Lights or whatever?
Yeah.
Fantastic record.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I had a girlfriend who was really into that album at the time, and I can't listen to it just at all.
To make you weep?
No, I just
You've heard enough of it.
I've heard enough of it, but right. I do try to keep in touch with what they're doing.
I used to I had some roommates who were in a rockabilly band, and like they were really nice guys, but like I can say if I never hear Johnny Cash again, like I'm all set. I'm all set.
What about you, Nicholas? Is there anyone that you never want to hear again?
Oh, lots of stuff. I'm just like a shame spiral and an introvert and fucking somebody who just doesn't want, I don't know. There's lots of things I have weird connections to. When I first said I love you to somebody, like I was dating this girl and we were in her bedroom and we were under the covers and I looked at her and I realized this must be what being in love is. The song The Pod by Hum off of You'd Prefer an Astronaut was playing. Mm-hmm. And it's I was like 15 then, so 25 years later. Every time I hear The Pod, that's what I think of, is that moment in time. Do I not want to feel that anymore? It's okay. But it doesn't have the same effect on me that it had, other things that are overplayed, like, I don't know. I think the joke of the Macarena is kind of come and gone. I saw some kids doing the Macarena on a street corner the other day. Like, we're still there as a society.
What? Is it coming back now or something?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, I didn't know that. It never went away for Filipino folks. I'll just.
For some of us.
My mom is a nurse, and as am I. But so she retired a couple years ago, even though she's still working. Like she had been, anyway, she had like a retirement party, and there's all these Filipino nurses that were there, so like it was like at like a function hall, and we're all sitting down like having dinner, and there's a DJ because it's like over 100 people are there. Like it was kind of like a big thing. Like my mom had worked at this hospital for a long time. Like people really liked her. Anyway, they threw this big party for her, and we're like sitting having dinner, and like all of a sudden, like all of these Filipino ladies like get up and start doing like a synchronized dance, and like this
the Macarena?
No, it was not the Macarena, but like this shit is like straight out of like a David Lynch movie. Like it's like the record skipped, and like yeah, there was dance lights and everything, and I turned to my sister and I was like, yo, did they like choreograph a dance for Mom?
Nice.
And she was like, Morgan, it's the electric slide. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You don't know the electric slide?
No, I totally missed that.
Boogie, woogie, woogie.
But and so anyway, I learned from this evening, and then like like a couple days later, I'm retelling this to a friend of mine who's Filipino, and he's like, oh yeah, like Filipino people, they love like line dancing.
Really?
Like it's like it's
breaky?
huge. So they dance all night long, like these ladies, like, and it was like song after song, like they went like deep cuts, like all this stuff I've never heard of before.
Really?
But like, yeah, I guess like in the Philippines, like that is the jam.
Comanche by well, you know the song dun, 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 dun.
But the Amazing Bongo Band.
No, is it the Village People? Who did Comanche?
I was thinking of Apache by the
Apache. It might be Apache.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, by the Incredible Bongo Band. Michael Voners and yeah,
Get on
Incredible.
it. Get
Yeah.
on.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Apache.
yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. I've been
But
married
I don't think
twice,
there's a line dance
so I
for
know
that.
these
Is there?
songs.
Is there a line dance
Oh,
for
there
that?
probably is.
I've seen people with their arms waving around their heads like a helicopter. I think that's one thing that I've seen.
There you go.
But I haven't watched like Soul Train since like the early 2000s. So
There needs to be a new thing like that. Or like it's a public restroom, but they take down all the doors and the stalls, and it's just they play music and you watch people take a shit. It's called like pooping or something. I don't know. You're giving me this look, Morgan, but it would be a cool show for like one episode.
I think it was like a David Foster Wallace story that he like writes about, like, right, they made it like TV got more and more shameful over time, like, and like people realized that like what
Ouch,
sells
my balls or whatever.
what sells is like people being ashamed of themselves, and like it like devolved into like it was just a program like 24 hours a day of like people like taking a shit and crying, like that's all it was. It was
that
like
fucking epitomizes my life. That's like, you want to talk about relatable content?
Right.
I would watch that and be
Right.
like, that's me, dude.
right. You're the life equivalent of taking a shit and crying. Or
But-
watching somebody take a shit and cry.
I mean, everyone would want to watch it. No one would want to be on it. That's the problem.
Yeah, when it's your week on it, because it's government mandated that you have to be on it. So kudos to you for not being in the U.S. But
Right. Yeah, kudos to you for not being in the U.S. just in general.
yeah, that should have been said earlier in the program.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about the state of politics up here, which is just, people say Canada's amazing.
You guys
and
are.
great.
You're not without your share of problems, obviously. But like
I mean, I live in the Texas of Canada. Let me tell you. So
Oh,
it's like
shit, yeah. Would you say Manitoba?
Alberta.
Alberta. Oh, okay, all right. But still, yeah.
Small government. Basically the same libertarian talking points that you hear down in the States. It's all over the place up here. Government bad, taxes bad, supporting hospitals with taxes bad, user fees all over the place. And it's only by like, I have no idea why everything hasn't been privatized here already. But you know what? I bless up because I can go to the hospital.
yeah,
No, dude. Fucking A, man.
yeah,
So brutal.
yeah.
down
We just got to get you guys some fucking vaccines up there, man.
I know.
Definitely, you got hosed on that. You definitely got hosed on that.
Tell
whole thing.
Biden you like his sunglasses. Maybe he'll give you a couple.
Well, the whole reason why we don't have vaccines is a whole other political issue stemming back, like, I want to say almost like 10, 15 years.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, why is it a political issue?
Well, I mean, I think it was not the current government who is in office right now. Jesus, turning this into a political chat show.
We can stay there for like a minute.
We can skip it too if you want.
Well, basically, there was a conservative government in before the current liberal government, and they kind of underfunded some of the places that would manufacture vaccines. So we kind of don't have the ability to do that anymore now. But I think the thinking was America is our friend. America will help us out. We always
It's on you.
Joke's on you.
yeah.
The most selfish country on earth is going to help you out. Okay.
But I don't want to be too resentful. America has some great bands, great people. There's fine
You guys
people.
are killing it up there, though. I've been listening to so much Canadian music lately. really good shit coming out of all different fucking places, man.
I've been impressed with like just everybody dropping their new releases lately. I'm just like, oh, this doesn't suck. It's great. I'm always.
See, Bandcamp just did like five Canadian screamo labels you should know about.
Zaguma Beach or whatever.
Yeah, it was fucking Miggy's on there. Emo Cat was in the list of 5 screamo
really?
labels you should know
Oh,
about.
awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't read that one actually because screamo is like one of those genres that, you know, I have very specific taste when it comes to, and it's not really something that I pay too much attention to, but I'll give it a listen just for you.
Well, the word gets thrown around. I mean, it started to become a very different animal, but the stuff that they call scrams now, which is the first and last time you'll hear me say that word, that shit was dope. Welcome to Play Gear, Majority Rule, all that stuff was real good.
Yeah, there was a scrams band out of Florida. I can't remember what their name was, but they were
Reversal of Man.
It wasn't Reversal of Man. It was something like I want to say Jillian Michaels or something like that. It was a woman's name, but they were kind of pushing it into like black metal territory almost, which I thought was kind of cool.
Jan Michael Vincent Car Crash?
No, that wasn't it.
It's a great name.
I can't.
Change your band name to that? Do you remember Adam and his package? Did you ever get a sense? I heard Adam's dead.
All right, we're not going to talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Dish sister.
No, I guess the guy's a fucking just a dumpster of a human. But I'd always heard his music, and it's very friendly music. The package was a what are those things called? Sequencer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put like the drum tracks and all the music on it and stuff, and then he would just show up with a microphone and that and play basement shows. But
here's what's going to happen now. We're going to send him a record. He's going to do a review of our record, and it's just going to be a review of an Adam and his package record. And,
yeah, you heard the typing, right? I heard the typing thing, yeah.
And then it's going to be like, oh, Bedtime Magic, 3 out of 10.
Yeah, 3 out of 10.
Oh no, I've already
22 pilots. That's all it's going to say in the review.
No, I'll just have a photo of a monkey taking shit.
As well.
That's awesome.
It's an improvement.
Yeah.
Actually, you're different.
Oh man, do you think the monkey's like crying on the inside?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if you guys are gonna get this reference, but there was a magazine down here called Lollipop. It was like a, I think it's like Exclaim. I don't know if Exclaim has a print version, but it was like a print version.
Oh yeah,
and it was a 2-word review of a record. It just said shit sandwich.
Oh man,
I don't believe they. I honestly don't believe they actually published that.
They did. I gotta find it. I had it in my mom's basement. Maybe it's still there.
like since I probably was 12, 13 years old, I've fantasized about writing a record review just so I could write shit sandwich.
Your review
man.
of Shark Sandwich.
That's the thing, man. You can't unring that bell. You can only do it once, man. I hope it was worth it for them.
You can't do 10 more reviews that are that.
Right.
You just gotta lean into it. After that, you're just yeah, this is what we're about now.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember that? I wrote that.
I think every critic has wanted to write a review like that because I know I have. It's
I mean, you kind of. I'm proud of you for getting that thing on the All That Remains Wikipedia. That's bold.
That was actually funny. I had nothing to do with that. I have no idea who put it up there, but I will enjoy it. I think it was somebody who probably had a vendetta against All That Remains, and they were like, "Oh, let's find some negative reviews."
It had to have been, because I got to the All That Remains thing. I was going through a rabbit hole. I was I was looking up the new Genghis Tron or something, and something appeared in blue. So I clicked that, and then kept going, and then it's Aaron Marco. I know that name,
I see. The funny thing about that review was I was like, what do I say about this record? How do I slag it off without slagging it off? So I was intentionally trying to make it sound as average as possible.
You nailed it.
I did my best to. I just remember that was the goal. I was I can't just write a hate review even though I want to. Because that band
You didn't want to use your one-time shit sandwich review.
No. I think Exclaim would have vetoed that. So have you guys had any horrible reviews that you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Nah.
I don't know.
I think so far music reviewers have been misguided and give us complimentary stuff.
Right.
Honestly, they liked Pillow Talk, but so Morgan was like, my friend Andrew wants to record us, and I was like, eh. And he was like, oh yeah, he's recorded like a bunch of bands, like Ken Mode and stuff, and I was like, eh. And then one day he was just like, well, Andrew was in that band Slug Hog, and I was like, excuse me? And he's like, yeah, Slug Hog. And I was like, obviously we're going to go with this guy. And then I told myself I wasn't going to say anything about Slug Hog, and we showed up in New York. We waited outside the studio, and he shows up, and I yell from the other side of the street, Slug Hog! And
Right. He told me on the drive down. He was like, I'm not gonna like be like a little fanboy with Andrew all weekend, like mentioning Slug Hog. I'm just like, I'm not even gonna bring it up.
That would be
and,
bullshit.
Like literally, Andrew like waves at us from across the street, and he's like, Slug Hog!
I couldn't help it. And so when he did the record, he's a fucking sick dude to work with, man. Like I honestly went with them because of the Slug Hog thing, which is like a minor band down here for the noise rock scene, and because he was a friend of Morgan's. But he is just a great guy to have because he produces as he engineers. And what I mean by that is he's willing to stop you in the middle of a take and just be like, guys, what are you doing? That's not right. He has a lot of input. He's very good about knowing when you need a break. He's very good about knowing what it's going to take to get a good sound. So when Pillow Talk came out, we got great reviews. The what is it? Knockover City split. I was trying to think about our first release. We didn't really send that out to anybody. I mean, we only had like 50 copies or something. You know? And then the Easter Bloodhounds thing surprisingly got good reviews, which it sounds, our friend recorded it with literally 2 microphones, and he was just like...
In our practice space.
Yeah, he was like, do your best. We're like, okay.
It's like you guys get one overhead.
Yeah, it was like one for the whole drum set or something, and one for the bass.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
And he pointed both of the bass amps at each other, so he's like, I gotta make it work somehow.
Right.
Yeah, so I think, that we get
Let them fight.
Yeah. I think we got a lot of like sympathy praise for that one, and the guy who recorded it, Krishna, is a super nice guy. He runs a guitar repair shop here, and he used to be in this band called Crucial Youth. Was that it?
Yeah, he was in Crucial Youth.
Yeah, so I think people were like, well, if Krishna recorded it, we'll listen to it and we won't shit all over it. So. So, I don't think we've had to tackle that animal. My old bands, obviously. Coleman, I don't think got any bad reviews, right?
No, I don't know. I'm pretty out of touch with all of that stuff. Like,
yeah, it's not really your thing.
Definitely many years post, we got a lot of name dropping, but, it's like...
Yeah, I tend to think of Morgan and Coleman. I never got to see them live, but I think of his experience in Coleman. There's this one picture where they're clearly playing a show that's hot, like it's hot, there's a hot environment. It must have been the summer. And what was your singer's name again?
Jackie.
Jackie's on the ground and she's like rolling around screaming, and then George, is playing guitar and he's really getting into it. And George is this big guy and he's playing this like little guitar, and then but in the picture, Morgan's wearing a fucking hoodie. I think
we were all wearing hoodies.
I don't remember everybody wearing a hoodie, but it's all it's just in my brain. The brain distorts it.
George, who played guitar in that band, was like 6'3", like 350 pounds. Like he was a large dude, and had some issues around like his physicality. So like he basically wore a sweatshirt always. I think we all I wouldn't be surprised if we were all in hoodies playing.
I just couldn't believe it. I mean, so for me, I think that's a really good example. You're there on the kit, giving it your all, but you're also kind of like in your little blanket for it, just away from everything. Yeah, I don't know. It sums it up pretty well.
I was actually, while we were talking about that, I was actually looking up the Rate Your Music reviews just to see if we could throw some fat on the fire.
Oh, is this going to be like one of those ones where we read mean tweets about ourselves or something?
What's that dude's name? Narwhal or Narwunder?
Nardwar.
Yeah, Nardwar.
You're gonna pop out of a closet.
But I'm having a hard time finding some actual reviews. I got nothing for this one, for the Greylock split, and then we got nothing for the Knockover City split. Fuck 'em all.
Well, are you wearing a plaid hat?
No.
If you had a plaid hat on, maybe you could, your inner Nardwar or whatever would.
Casting shade? Is that what the kids say? No, tossing shade.
This
Throwing.
was supposed to be that shotgun interview moment where you're like, "How do you feel about this?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, that guy's a prick."
Nicholas, you're 40 and don't have pubes. Why? No, but I do have pubes. Anyone listening?
Why?
I don't know. Because he's going to try to get me with that, the pube thing. I told you earlier, he's going to try to get me with the pube thing.
So why don't you have pubes?
No,
Or
I do. But... All right, listen, I'm going to count them.
listen, at our age, it's important to take care of your body. Waxing, very, very, very important aspect of male grooming. Very
I did shave
underrated.
my knuckles. The knuckle hair started to turn the color of the hair on my head. That's no good.
You shaved your knuckles?
Yeah, at one point. I mean, it grew back.
Wow.
Clear again, but...
All right. That's cool.
I don't know.
What about you, Morgan? Let's talk about your pube situation.
What's your routine, Morgan?
You know,
I don't know. I watch it.
You know, I guess grooming is important. We could say that. I will come out and offer that I do shave my armpits. Though.
You do?
Yeah,
Oh.
and here's why. Cuts down on smell.
Does it?
Interesting.
I think I tried that once, and I didn't like it. It was very itchy, so I stopped doing it.
Maybe you
I'm
should
also
wax
bigger.
next time.
Good.
Yeah.
Maybe I should wax.
Yeah, wax.
Yeah, there's no harm in it. It's 2021. You know, male grooming has not progressed since the dawn of man.
No way, man. Like, I've noticed there's maybe it's just like the whatever like YouTube programming, like whatever algorithm hit for me or whatever. But like I've definitely noticed like watching like videos on YouTube and like all this like manscaping ads and shit comes up
You
or
shouldn't
like
be getting that anymore. though,
well,
your YouTube
like
Premium.
there's like people like do like paid promotion inside
Yeah.
YouTube videos now.
Yep.
Like, right, like,
Beard oil.
and like it's come up more than once that I've been like watching like a dude fucking talking about like woodworking, and then he's like, and by the way, I shaved my balls with this thing. And I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like,
Sorry about the pause in the video, but poopery spray. It's good stuff. You know? We were talking about, there's a college radio station here. It seems like they're kind of sliding in some promotions. They're like, oh, you know what I like? I really like Fresca. And you're like, that's a promotion right there. You know, they're not supposed to play commercials on college radio.
Listen, maybe they just love Fresca and happen to get $2,000 for saying it.
right, right.
Are you trying to get $2,000 for saying it, Aaron?
No, I just happen to love Fresca.
Aaron's like, that
And I love having $2,000 in my pocket.
Come on, guys.
Is that so wrong?
Oh, I've actually been having like kind of a crisis with myself over doing content like this, which you know, I don't know if I've even really talked about it publicly, but it's like the way that you monetize anything anymore is just it's such a let's just say it's a minefield right now. Basically, you've got these companies who are willing to pay thousands of dollars to like YouTubers to promote a product, which is like, you know, you get those, I'm not going to name names because, you know, they can pay me $2,000 for that. But, you know, anytime you see a YouTuber mention a product by name, they're getting like thousands of dollars.
That's what I got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll start.
Fucking good for them. You know, like, I don't know, man. You know, like how many ad execs are fucking been making millions off of that shit forever. So like, you know, like whatever. If it gets to some little people too, like you know, like whatever. Like, I definitely I will say like literally I was watching like, you know, because I make stuff out of wood sometimes, like, and I'm not very good at it, but like I have some interest, so like I'll watch YouTube videos of like people who are like tips and tricks on like how to
Dovetail joints and stuff.
right, like how do you and like I was watching like a dude like talking about like he was definitely talking about new tools, so I knew some of that shit was paid promotion, and like dude fully dropped like. And you know, like holding up a little razor, like, and this is what you know, like how I groom, you know, like this is how much I shave my balls. And it's like, what the fuck is going on, man?
That's pretty great.
But that's how these people are getting paid on YouTube, and
Yeah.
they actually get paid kind of like a sick amount of money in some regards, depending on how many subs they have.
Yeah.
I'm working my way up there.
You're getting there, man. One day.
One day, next week, hopefully. But yeah, it's like I don't know. Have you guys had that conversation about promotional considerations?
There's things that we'd like to promote, but at one point I had a relationship with a string company, but he went out of business. That was pretty cool. I got a bunch of strings for free.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, is that a joke?
No, this is all true. Yeah, you thought that there was a punchline, right? No, it's based out of I think it was Kansas City.
I mean, you're
Killer
really
City
leaning into
Guitars.
this gag.
No, it's not gay.
No, like legitimately,
Nicholas, you're
the dude sent him like a whole bunch of bass strings and was like, check them out, see how you like them.
When you see my bass, you'll see it's got kind of a weird strap lock system. He like came up with a strap lock system that's, truth be told, it's actually pretty complicated and not that great. But he sent me one. It was like,
And
you use
it
this
was
and tell
free.
people you use it, and I was
Right.
like, sure.
Yeah.
But then he went out of business, I think, because of COVID. So that sucked because he had great strings. But that's what we really had. He's friends with the dude from Earthquaker, and we tried using Acapulco Gold for a while. And it was a good pedal. It was a great pedal, but it just wasn't right for what we were doing. So we've been trying to do something just so we can be like, because it's his buddy, support his buddy's brand.
Oh yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
I don't know. There's nothing really else we've done promotionally. Narragansett sponsored us for like a show, and then they stopped sponsoring bands. They were sponsoring bands up here for a while.
Wait, I didn't know that they sponsored us for a show. Did
Yeah,
they?
you don't remember we played with Raw Radar War? And
Oh, I thought that was like a thing for the gallery or whatever.
yeah, it was like all of the above. Like they had promotional consideration, but
So after
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna
didn't get
hear
any
about
money
how you guys are like.
specifically.
Oh, okay.
yeah, they put us on their Instagram and stuff. It was basically just that. They were trying to get like bands promoted for a while, but then they just moved to a different
Yeah,
city. Narragansett's a beer around here.
So like the short answer to your question is like, yeah, fuck yeah, we'll sell out, man. Like whatever.
The Who sellout. You remember that record?
Oh yeah.
Heinz Baked Beans on the cover. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good record.
So anybody who's listening, you can get at Bedtime Magic, likely
Yeah.
through their Bandcamp page. I'll have a link in the description with any promotional offers, considerations, and any thousands of dollars you want to give to them.
I
Right.
love his high
now
print voice.
I'm going to put in the little caveat. And, like, I probably don't really want to promote any like male grooming accessories or whatever. Like,
Did you do Liquid Death? You know that shit?
what is that?
It's water. It's just water in a can.
But it's got like a cool can design. That's the thing.
So lots of bands, yeah, like Converge promotes them. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, like what's that stuff called? UCF or UFC or something? Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Yeah,
Those dudes
UFC.
promote it and stuff.
Oh, all right.
I mean,
It's just water in a can.
they've got a great promotional campaign. Like the marketing behind it it's great. I can say
I
that
love
much.
the marketing. I tried the product. It's water in a can. So I don't really get it, but cool.
So they did to water what I thought we could do with our T-shirts.
Just make it so you.
They were like, kids love heavy metal T-shirts. Why don't we sell them a heavy metal water? And
That's exactly what it is.
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Except for the fact that there's like huge droughts in like, large parts of the world that
yeah.
like, people are dying of those droughts. Like
Isn't
aside from that, I think it's pretty rad that somebody's selling heavy metal
Canada's
water.
got the issues with the water. Isn't Nestle like fucking over Canada or something?
California.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, Nestle's fucking over everywhere right now with regards to water. And I want to say that I heard about somewhere else. I want to say somewhere in the Midwest. I heard that they were like just draining the shit out of the water there. I can't remember, but they've been doing that for years, and it's just
Right.
they don't care.
They don't give a fuck.
Right. Like the simple answer is if like for one person to have $1 billion, that means some people are fucking dying.
It has to be.
Like that. Right. You're a company that sells water. Like, right. Somebody else is not getting what they
water.
need because you have $1 billion fucking dollars.
Oh yeah.
Somebody that sells guitars.
Right.
Somebody's not
Right.
getting. I mean, that's how it works, right? Scarcity.
Right.
Elon Musk. He's a good one. He was he's a billionaire, and his family made their money out of I want to say like Blood Diamonds or something like that. And
Yeah.
he was being asked about I think it was a political issue in Africa somewhere, and he was like, we'll coup anyone we want. It's like,
Oh shit! Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
it's like, that's bold.
Please.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I have issue with Grimes. Grimes is the pretty little rich girl. She hides the fact that her mom is in politics in Canada, and she like does all this other stuff.
I thought she was from the UK.
Nah, she's
No.
from Canada.
She's from Canada.
She's Aaron's problem to deal with up there.
I got my own issues with Grimes, let me tell you. Did you know? So up in Canada, we have grants programs here. Which, by the way, for your next album, just we'll pretend I'm in the band, get you some grant money from the government.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
Totally
into this
into
idea, dude. We tried to do that down here. Boston has a program, and they gave it to all these dancers, and we were like, oh.
Right. Didn't I remember hearing like the refused like back in the 90s or whatever, like the like Swedish government paid for like The Shape of Punk to get recorded or some shit like that.
Probably.
Like, good for them,
Grimes,
man.
I gotta hear the Grimes dirt. Hold on, what's this Grimes dirt?
So
My brain is open for this dirt. I need to hear it.
So you guys know that Grimes dropped an album last year, right? So she got like $90,000 for it from the
Is
government.
she rich though?
Oh yeah. She's like a millionaire.
Yeah.
And she's married to Elon Musk, or sorry, heavily involved with him and has his child. Like,
I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised by that. Like, rich
No.
people are really good about staying rich.
I know.
Like, right. There's like some skill involved that like us as non-rich people fucking do not have.
And
they're opportunistic. I wouldn't say it's skill.
I think the thing that bothers me so much is now the organization who funds the arts grants, they're going to financially support a lot of artists, right? And
Right.
Grimes, she's a big time artist around, so
Oh yeah.
so they want
I mean, there's like they're like how many Ken Mode records didn't come out because Grimes got to put out her record. Yeah. I totally understand that. Like, and I'm not like, oh, Grimes, that's totally cool. Like, it's kind of a douchebag move.
Yeah.
But I'm also like not really surprised that like rich people are acting like douchebags.
Oh, totally.
Like that's
Yeah.
like that's sort of just seems like breathing air.
I think
Taken from other people. Same old.
I think it's the amount of money that she got. Like, she got $90,000. Like, meanwhile, Tunic and like I want to say Mets. I can't remember how much it was, but they definitely did not receive that much money in terms of their grants. But
I like Mets. I've seen Mets a few times, and I think they're a great band. But they need to stop sending out so many emails. So Mets, if you're listening, I get like an email from you guys like once a week. Like, I don't really need to hear about you that often.
And that's really kind of bizarre coming from you. Like, just thinking of how many emails I've received from you today, and you're complaining about the frequency.
Mets isn't expecting me to respond. With you, I'll be like, Morgan, I'm in a burning building. Do you have an extra key? Please help me. And then a week later, you're like, I got your email, but I forgot to respond.
I had no idea Mets had an email list.
For their band camp, and it's like every fucking day I have a new email from them. It's like those extended warranty phone calls. Like, let's just chill out, guys. Like, I get it. I love your stuff. I'll probably buy the record, but like, fucking, I got other shit to do besides read Mets emails. Like,
I had to unsubscribe from so many of those emails, and when I was pushing my last record, I was like, oh, I'm being really annoying because I sent out like 3 back-to-back, and I was like, oh, well, I justified it by saying I never do this, and plus I need to tire.
Yeah, you're fine, man. You're not like Haunted Horses. Now Haunted Horses is doing it to me.
I don't even know who that is.
I need to fucking make like a folder that everything goes to.
Right. And Mets is on Sub Pop. Isn't Sub Pop Sub Pop's got money. They can fucking pay for Mets to record.
Okay. Conversely, I would love Sub Pop, if you're listening. I'd love to hear from you guys. It doesn't even have to be business.
Right.
Just say hi.
Right. They make some great records.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what they're doing.
I hear Mark Arm works for Sub Pop, so maybe he could drop you guys a line. Yeah. He's got to have a day job.
What was his band before Mudhoney that was just like they didn't even fucking write songs?
So I don't even know. Let's.
I don't remember now.
He had a band where he and the other guys would just show up and play, and it was like dudes from Screaming Trees and stuff. They were on AMRAP.
We got.
Why am I not knowing this?
Yeah,
like,
it was
instantly.
like AMRAP 4 or something, like his fucking fourth release. And then Mark Arm, said, I want to start a serious band. And Thomas Hazelmeyer, it's in the documentary, was like, okay, I think you should do it. And they started Mudhoney. And,
I'm glad he did.
yeah.
Once again, Hayes fucking making some good shit happen.
That documentary is all just them, The Color of Sound or whatever, is all them just being like, talk about this. And he's like, nah. And they're like, okay, can you talk about maybe this aspect of what you did? And he's like, no, I'm good, actually. Thank you, though, for asking.
I know a guy who used to shovel that dude's driveway in exchange for records. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my buddy Jay Clark, like, grew up in Minneapolis and like was like. It could, you know, Jay's a good guy, but he can be a little full of shit. But I do sort of believe him on this. That like he said, yeah, I totally used to like shovel his walkway in exchange for MRAP records. Yeah.
You seem like what's the term? I forget what it is, but like when somebody's sort of thrust into things when they are like whatever, you know.
Happenstance.
Yeah, you know, like a reluctant, not hero, but you know.
We'll call him a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. The Beastie Boys write songs about him. Like, the Beastie Boys don't. Right, Eggman.
That's what
We all dressed in black. We snuck up around their back. We began to attack. The eggs did crack on Hayes' back. Yeah. Yeah. Tom Hazelmeyer. Yeah.
Did not get that.
Yeah.
And now I know.
Wow.
I just dropped some fucking Beastie Boys lyrics.
I love it. Old school
Amazing.
hip-hop, man.
So now we know the direction the band's headed next.
Oh yeah. We told Schneider when we just did this record. He goes, "What are some records you want this to sound like?" And I was like, "King
Paul's
of Rock."
Boutique.
What?
Paul's Boutique.
Yeah, Paul's Boutique. We were like, Paul's Boutique, King of Rock. Like, let's get this shit going, you know.
So did you find out who Mark Arm's first band was? Did you find that?
Yeah, I didn't hear any typing.
I moved my microphone away from the computer. I got a new microphone now, unlike the last interview. I borrowed this one from my ex.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we have a solid relationship because we have to. We have a kid together. All right, so Arm first entered the Seattle rock scene, thank you Wikipedia, in 1980 when he formed a band, still in high school, called Mr. Ep and the Calculations, with Joe Smitty, Peter Wick, who co-wrote and recorded the song The Pigeon in the Fountain Bed, which caused local radio DJ Stephen Rabot to declare them the worst band in the world. Then they opened for Student Nurse, and the next year they added a second guitarist, Steve Turner. After Mr. F.
I found it, but I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Is it Limp Richards?
Nope. The Thrown Ups.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you said his first band, so I'm just going off what's on the Wikipedia page.
I had a band called Sloth when I was in junior high. I don't think that.
My first band, my first like real band,
Yeah.
the Crapheads,
The Crapheads?
which is a fucking amazing band name.
Yeah. No, my first band was Three Toed, Toad, Three Toed Sloth, and then I was in Sloth. No relationship.
Before we were the Crapheads, we were well. I actually wasn't even in the band at this point. It was just the bass player and the singer. They were the Soggy Croutons.
That's the.
But then I joined and we became the Crapheads.
Crapheads.
Yeah.
That's like a Van Halen thing. They named the band after you.
I was starting a band with my friend once, and we had brought in this drummer, and he just wanted us to call ourselves Sour Ground, and I was like, I didn't tell him this, but I was like, that's the worst name I've ever heard.
Sour Ground?
That's right, Sour Ground.
Morgan's got this look on his face.
What the fuck does that mean?
Even,
What does that mean?
I actually think it's I think it's a reference to Pet Cemetery.
No one's gonna get that.
That doesn't make it any better.
No.
Doesn't make it any better. No.
Dude, Sully from
In fact,
Godsmack?
might make it worse.
Can we talk about Sully from Godsmack for a second?
Oh, please, can we? Please.
Oh, fuck yeah.
They used to be a fucking like Alice in Chains cover band.
Right. Well, that's an Alice in Chains song.
They
Yeah.
claim it's not. They claim that one of them had a zit, and somebody went up to the zit and said, "That's the god of zits," and smacked them. That's not the story. They are trying to revive history.
They were an Alice in Chains cover band.
Yeah.
They fucking won that Daddy's Junkie Music Contest, and they put out their first record, and it had the most Alice in Chains looking cover on it.
So we recorded with Andrew Schneider, like the guy who like, and he actually recorded a bunch of shit that like.
Don't say it. Did he?
Not you don't remember him telling the story of like he didn't actually record Godsmack, but like that dude was in the studio because he was like paying for maybe it was null set. He was paying for like null set to record,
So,
and he kept it. He was like producing the record. I'm doing air quotes. Sully Erna was like producing.
He was over at New Alliance for a while.
Right. And he kept on calling Andrew like, "Hey, city boy. Hey, city boy." And like
You, Sully.
right. And Andrew's like, dude, I'm from the same town as you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like,
Didn't Marty Walsh declare in Boston Godsmack Day or something?
right? Yeah, there was a Godsmack Day. That's right. Yeah.
I'm sending Nicholas the cover of that album right now.
Yeah, send it to me, dude. I want to see all them tribal tattoos.
It's terrible. I'll probably.
Yes. Remember this, dude?
Wow.
Yeah, I won the Daddy's Junkie Music Contest.
I don't think I ever saw that, but that like
Yes.
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
Morgan's trying to get me to get one of those bases that doesn't have a headstock. You know those ones?
Oh, like the Steinberg basses.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking rad, man. Seriously, think about how far you could throw that thing, though. Like, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and you can catch it and not hurt your hands.
Right.
Rick, when I throw it, I'm like, I don't want to break this, and it's heavy.
Oh, that's those are even more expensive than Rickenbackers from what I remember.
Oh, are they?
Really?
Shit, you have to buy special.
Well, you'd have to buy. You'd buy like the court version or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Just get a knock on.
Yeah.
Oh, I found. Oh, wait, no.
Huh?
No.
You selling me one?
Well, yeah, maybe. I found one for sale. The
Listen,
Canadian.
Fresca, if you're listening, all you need for us to sponsor your to endorse your product is one slightly used Steinberger bass. And don't sue us when Nicholas throws it.
I thought these were more expensive, but no, I found one for $5.49 at Long and McQuaid, which is the music store chain up here.
Yeah, nobody fucking wants those things. Because like I said, you need special strings. You can't use normal strings.
Yeah, you can use normal
No,
strings.
use double-balled strings. I bought them by accident once.
No. At least there some of the brands that made it like they're strung backwards.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I got home and I had double-balled strings, and they were like not even like 34 inches or whatever. Like I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with these? You know? I had to return them.
Balls.
Double balls.
Did you tell him, shove these up your ass, guy? Get me some real fucking strings.
Yeah. I threw them at the guy behind I was like, I don't give a shit if you didn't make the strings. I fucking hate you.
Rude.
It's his fault for selling a shoddy product. You know what?
Yeah.
Get it right the first time.
Thank you.
But
I don't want to cut it short, but I think you needed to get home though, didn't you? Or are you okay to stay
What
on?
time is it?
7:30.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, well, we'll follow the pace of play or whatever. I know you had that time.
Oh, that's right. We're speaking to you from the future.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say it's only 5:31 here. But speaking of horrible name stories, I got one for you about Nickelback. Right?
Oh, all right.
Isn't it a Starbucks reference?
Yeah, apparently. So one of the members used to work at like a coffee place, and apparently one of the things that they'd sell all the time is like a coffee, and it was $1.95, and the guy was always like, "Here's your Nickelback," which sounds like a really who would name their band after that?
It doesn't sound inspirational. Like, it doesn't make me want to get out of the house and go do
It's no crapheads, I'll tell you that.
No.
But here's where it gets crazy.
Uh-oh.
In Canadian currency, do you know what is on the nickel?
No.
It's the beaver.
So they're the Beaver Band? Beaver Buddies.
I think it is it's a slang reference to the female genitalia.
Oh! It all comes back to pubes every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is this what the show's called? Pube alert.
That's
Right. When you do whatever it is to promote this, can you just be like, Bedtime Magic talks about pubes.
oh, totally.
We talk pubes,
Like,
lubes.
here's the record review. Bedtime Magic talks
Fresca,
about pubes.
yeah.
3 out of 10.
A new TV show idea. What was I going to say? You know what I have a lot of respect for? You folks call, what is it, the dollar bill the loony, and the $2 thing is the toonie,
The
right?
tuning. Yeah.
I think that's great. We don't have anything fun like that.
No. You guys just have your... I got to admit, Canadian money is a lot more fun than American money from what I've seen.
Oh, yeah. And Tim Hortons is so much better when you cross the border. Everything's gross here. There's like 2 Tim Hortons in the U.S. and it's fucking nasty.
That's funny to me because it's like, Tim Hortons has just gone down in terms of their reputation up here. People are
have
just
they?
like, oh yeah, everybody's like, because they're owned by Burger King now.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love going up there because they would give you actual plates and stuff. Blew my mind.
I think it's been a while since they bought out Tim Hortons, but they've been owned by Burger King for a while.
What a shame.
I know. We have no Canadian identity now. Now it's just
It's over.
just another
Who are we
product.
as people?
Yeah, that's why I cling to American politics so much, because it's just like this is.
Well, it's fucking awful, dude. American politics are over the goddamn top, right?
I know. It's like you can't take this shit seriously. It's
Jewish lasers? Like, what is that? You know about that? The Jewish laser thing?
was
I don't even fucking know. It is Marjorie Taylor Greene or whatever.
Oh, God. I don't want to
She's
know.
a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like things are just more interesting down here, and they, I pay attention to them because it, numbs the pain from. Gives
I don't
me
mean to laugh, but you're right.
It's just like, I mean, some of our scandals up here are just like they're quaint,
Yeah. I'll always read these. Well, except for what's his name from Toronto.
Doug Ford.
Yeah,
Doug
Doug Ford, who they reelected.
Oh no, it was Doug Ford. His brother died.
Brother. Yeah.
And his brother was like the dude who was like, I got enough to eat at home.
Yeah, but here's the thing: like Marion Barry, like
They reelected Marion Barry.
They fucking love Marion Barry in D.C. and like you might not catch this reference, but I know Nicholas will know. Buddy Cianci, who was the mayor of Providence, he got reelected, and he's a convicted felon now, so he's not allowed to run.
Shit.
But like people still like, and Buddy Cianci kidnapped a dude and burnt him with cigars.
What?
Like seriously, kidnapped
this
and
dude's
tortured a
down in
dude.
Mount Providence. He's fucking crooked as shit.
And they still wanted to reelect him as mayor. Like they loved him in Providence.
They're like,
Buddy Cianci.
he's got a good tough on crime stance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite these days is the guy from Fall River, Massachusetts. I don't know if you look this guy up. He's like 23 years old. He's the youngest guy elected mayor, and he got all this money to start a.
Right, he tried to start a fist fight with the city council, like in a city council meeting.
He was watching it at home on local television because they have to broadcast them, and he saw them talking shit about him and showed up and was like, "What now?"
Right. You want to say something? Yeah, amazing.
He got convicted recently.
He got
gonna do
convicted.
time, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he
Good.
got fucked.
Yeah.
I'm
Sociopath.
taking a look. I'm taking a look to see if I can find anything. Spindle City Fest is returning to Fall River June 5th.
Boom.
Oh, all right.
I mean, that's really what we're talking about in the end.
I'm not. Was it recently?
Yeah, he just got convicted.
Was it
last
Fall River
week.
or was it New Bedford?
Fall River.
was
Yeah,
Fall
it's
River.
definitely Fall River.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it made the internet outside of Massachusetts.
Yeah, it probably doesn't pop up on yours because it's considered "quote unquote" local news, and I live in Massachusetts.
But no, I think became like an international story. It's not every day that the mayor of a city tries to fist fight the entire city council at once.
I actually think I have a video, and I'm just skipping through this right now. says
His name's Giselle Correa, I believe. Giselle. Yeah, the short wild ride of Fall River Mayor Giselle Correa.
Right. He wasn't mayor for very long either, right? Like he instantly started offering to fight people. And
well, they were supposed to open up dispensaries, and he didn't open any dispensaries. He just kept the money.
Right. He's like, I'm mayor now. Who wants to get their ass kicked? Yeah.
The best Massachusetts piece of news, though, recently. I hope you guys know about this. Do you know about the Kung Fu Panda thing? This is 100% real.
What?
You guys know about this? Have you heard about this Kung Fu Panda?
No, I haven't.
There's a guy from Randolph, Massachusetts, which is down on the South Shore. He fucking claimed that when they made Kung Fu Panda, you heard about this?
Yeah, I actually did hear about this.
Yeah, and it turned out he said that they stole all his designs. And he's like, look, these are my characters. It's called like Karate Panda or something.
Right.
And then it turns out he traced from the Lion King coloring book characters and just put like ninja bandanas on them. And
See,
he predated them. He said it was like 92, but it wasn't 92. He just traced it from a 97 Lion King coloring book.
see, what I heard was he actually like, I read the headline because that's all I have time for anymore. But it was like his designs. He filed a lawsuit, and he just faked the whole thing.
Oh, it's all fake. Yeah. All fake, because he originally had like a panda thing, but he changed it around to be about ninjas so he could go after Kung Fu Panda. And it was total. Oh, and then they were like, let's look at your computer. And he's like, you know what? My computer stopped working the other day. And they were like, that's fucking suspect. Bunch of other shit went down. He just got sentenced too.
Oh, man.
Yeah. When I go to Google search it, they all come up the news stories at the bottom there.
That's actually pretty funny. The last popular news story I saw up here was we had a guy who was he hit a cop with his car, and his wife posted the video to YouTube because she thought that everybody would be on her side.
But is he still alive?
Oh, he's still alive. Well, I mean,
yeah. So it definitely didn't happen in America, then.
no.
That would have been all over the news.
Right.
No.
So what happened with the cop car thing? She thought everybody be on the side of the cop, or everybody went on the side of the guy hitting the cop?
So, I mean, where I live in particular, it's very, very small gov, libertarian, that sort of thing. And so this guy, he was getting a ticket from the cop. He's just being a belligerent shit to the cop the entire time. I'm not going to get into the whole politics of, a cab or all that stuff, but I'm just describing what happened in the video. So this guy, he gets a ticket, and he's just like swearing at the cop the entire time, and he's like, just hand me my fucking ticket, calling him all kinds of names. And the cop like slides the ticket in through the window, and the dude just peels out and hits the cop with the side of his truck.
Oh, man.
And he's like screaming out the window the entire time at the cop, and he's still calling him names. So
what is the public discourse on this? Is everybody being like, fuck you, dude?
Everybody's like, this guy's a total jackass. And what I think is the funniest part about it is she actually posted this video of her husband or boyfriend or whatnot, acting like a dick to this cop, hitting the cop with the car. 100% in the wrong. They're screaming out the window the entire time about how this cop's high. And it's just like they posted their crime to YouTube, and they thought it would be like, exonerate them.
YouTube?
Oh yeah,
Vimeo or something?
YouTube, yeah.
I don't get people sometimes, man. I don't understand the world.
I'll send you the video, but it's kind of funny. They tried to take it down, but people archived it, so it's floating around out there.
The internet never forgets.
Right, the internet is forever.
Yeah, totally.
It's like a bad dream.
I know. It's why I'm glad I'm not growing up now.
Dude, can you imagine, man? I don't understand dick pics. Does not make sense to me.
No.
I don't even want people to see my penis when we're down. I have a kid. I hope that no one during the process of making the child saw my penis.
Yeah.
Andrea, I hope Andrea didn't see my penis. Why would you do that, though? Why would you send somebody?
You don't have to be ashamed of your body, man.
I'm not ashamed of my body. I just don't
you
get
have a
why
beautiful
I
body.
I don't understand what you're going to get from looking at my penis.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Like, Right.
I would never ask a girl to send me a clamgram. Like, I would never want to see her vagina.
You just wanted to say that. You just wanted to say that phrase.
little bit, but-
This is the whole thing. You didn't want to talk about dick pics at all. You just wanted to be able to say
I'm saying is-
clamgram.
I don't think. You know,
Fucking
it's like,
asshole.
Like, I just don't know how.
But what a note to go out on.
Yeah. I know. I just don't
Right.
know what.
Here's Aaron's review of our new record. Bedtime Magic. Clamgram. 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. 3 clams. This is a 3 clam review. This is my first 3 clam review here at Aaron's Review Corner.
Normally, I'm not really a seafood person, but let me tell you, we got a real humdinger this time.
Takes a lot to get 5 clams.
So the picture, the picture of the monkey pooping, is it pooping in a toilet or is it like squatting and pooping?
I think
I
it's
just
like
want to know.
just shitting into its own hand.
Oh wow,
Fair. That's environmentally.
that's
friendly.
awesome.
It's hovering, so it's getting ready to like launch a missile.
Oh wow, that's talent.
See, that's a really good review. I think I would totally take that as a review of one of our
You didn't
records.
tell me it was gonna be one of those smart monkeys.
Oh, monkeys are fucking brilliant.
You're the gymnasts of the animal kingdom.
But I guess do you guys have anything else that you'd like to add? Any future slander that you want to get out of the way right now?
We talked about Sully. We talked about Mets not emailing me as much, right?
You know,
You talked about your manscaping routine.
right. We're lined up for all potential sponsorship deals now.
Yeah, we hammered that.
This interview's been a total success all
Yeah.
around, man. Right.
I give it 5 clams.
Right. We've actually written our own record review.
Yeah, we got a lot done. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, great job. Just email it over to me. I'll read it out on my weekly internet review show.
There you go. Marco News. I love that sound. They don't do that anymore with the news stuff.
No news is good news with
What was that duding noise when they did the news?
idea.
I think that was actually the telegraph.
Oh, like the news wire.
Yeah, the newswire, right? So they don't have a traditional newswire anymore. So it's just like.
Now we could hear like a dot matrix printer ripping off in the back.
Yeah. Or it'd be like a genetically engineered cow. All right, we have news for you right now.
It just like vomits up the news
Yeah.
on an ancient scroll.
Dude, there was lots of stuff like that in Rome. If you were disfigured, you were considered a soothsayer. You guys know what I'm talking about? Do I sound crazy?
From all those times well, you posed a couple different questions there. And the first one I'm going to say no, and the second one I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, like the blind soothsayer, like the crippled soothsayer, they would call it. You'd go to him, you'd be like, you see anything lately?
All that time I spent in
Yeah.
ancient Rome, I totally remember.
Yeah.
It's like
Cow puke up anything?
it'd be like, this vomit's a good omen.
Yeah. Now it's like the broken Tetris arcade machine, Did the broken Tetris arcade machine say anything? No. All right. Future's not happening.
I recognize this glitch. It's a bad sign.
No, I think we're good. I think we covered all the bases, man.
All right.
It's a pleasure.
Well, it's been a pleasure as well, and I'd like to thank you both very much for coming on the show. Bedtime Magic,